Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Kenos, and I am here today with you for week 3 of the LCUS. Exciting note to end on last week, and we're starting off right away with Phoenix trying to get some redemption. Joining me for this redemption story will be Jeff for this first set. Hey Jeff, how's it going?
Good. How about you, Kenos?
Doing all right. Excited to see if Phoenix can get back on their feet a little bit here. Gonna hop over to the standing screen really quick here. We see Northern Storm in a not dominant but still impressive first place. This first game will probably set the whole tone for the night. If Northern Storm ends up losing at least one game, option 12 could slip into first place if they manage to, or at least tie for first place, if they manage to get their 2 wins. 9 lives, if they win both their games, could also tie for first place, depending what Phoenix does here. So, a lot of drama just centered around this first set of games here. What are you anticipating that we're going to see?
I do favor Northern Storm coming into this. I think they've looked very strong, and Phoenix has looked very inconsistent. We had Greatbeard of Odin even on our podcast, which goes on every Wednesday night, even admitting that Phoenix has had a lot of issues in terms of synergy, not being on the same page, and it didn't really sound like he was that optimistic about it getting figured out soon. So I don't know if I really have that much belief in them to pull it off tonight, but if they did, it would certainly be awesome to see because, as you said, a redemption story. I mean, what better redemption story would there be than knocking off the top team?
Right, absolutely. I mean, that would be the big story here is that Phoenix comes back from rather throwing a rather disappointing game 2 and manages to tackle the king.
Absolutely.
So if we're able to see that, good for them. I think they have the potential to do it. I think that they have the tools to do it. I think they need to prioritize like what their strategy is rather than trying to just kind of go with something that makes all of them feel good. Because we saw that in game 2 against 9 lives last week, which you all should check out if you haven't seen it. Where they lost game 1. It wasn't a good loss either. And in game 2, they all picked champions they really liked. You know, we had Yone mid for Greatbeard of Odin, Alonzi with some great Warwick plays, but everyone's favorite character doesn't make a team. And I think we saw that as any sort of synergy that they had sort of fell to the way, or didn't exist at all, and their own individual strength just kind of fell to pieces. Whereas 9 lives had a team fighting comp, as several people in the chat were saying, and then once they started team fighting, they started to win.
Yeah. I think, I know we're talking about this first matchup right now, but I do just want to allude from that for a moment and just say that I was very impressed with 9 lives last week. I know that they didn't have a great week 1, and at least in terms of power rankings from the community and myself, they weren't necessarily seen as a team that was going to be a contender. But based on how they played last week, they very much could be.
Right, and I mean, it's worth noting that their first set of games was against Northern Storm.
Indeed.
So it'll be a funny comparison to balance these two teams out against the reigning leader right now, if not the reigning champ. Reigning champ is White Wolf right now, I believe.
Indeed. Yeah. So we are into champ select, it looks like. And the Nasus is actually banned. We do have Stelio Cantos subbing in for Brandana this week. I'm not sure if that's related to the synergy issues that we've been talking about, or if it's a simply a scheduling issue. But Stelio Cantos, he is known for playing Nasus, so right away Northern Storm taking that away.
And of course, everyone remembers Token running everyone over with Pony. So we lose the Hecarim and the Akali ban because Greatbeard of Odin isn't allowed to play Akali.
Yeah, that's the one thing is Greatbeard of Odin, we all know he's an incredible Akali player. And unfortunately, he just hasn't found success on other champions even close to that same level. And so there's no way this Akali ban will ever be unlocked unless he starts showing the same level of comfort and success on other things.
Yeah, we do see that with players like Ace, where they have so many, they show so many dominating performances on so many different characters that it becomes hard to ban them all.
Yeah, exactly. You have to sort of pick your poison and say like, okay, well, do we at least have a counter pick to this? Because then we'll leave this one up because we can't ban them all. You see the Zillion ban taken away from Chaosix. He's been playing that well this split, as well as Zoe, and Darius also taken away from Stallion Kanto. So the substitute drawing 2 bans in this first phase.
Definitely shows a lot of respect for Stelio Kantos' abilities, that they're focusing on that. Does leave several, like Warwick, I was about to say, does leave Warwick available for Alonzi. Morgana is still available, which of course is the one everyone keeps talking about in the LCUS as being the picker ban or suffer.
Yeah, that's interesting because, yeah, Morgana is up right now, but these are the 2 teams where I actually feel like we're least likely to see it, at least in mid. I know that Wishbone has played it in bot, you know, and I'm sure both these mid laners are capable of playing it. I know Greatbeard of Odin specifically hates it, because he hates playing against it, I think, so much. We do have Northern Storm hovering it right now, though.
Yeah. Probably likely they're going to lock it in.
Yeah, it's such a powerful pick, not just because it has seen so much success, but because it has that flex potential. You don't exactly know where it's going.
I would really like to see Wishbone. I believe she was the one who's playing Swain in the first week, was it?
I believe so, yes.
I would like to see that again. It was a very dominating performance, despite her dislike for doing that champion.
I mean, that would be an especially, you know, good combination to flex as well, because Swain can go mid. I mean, Swain can go top as well. So even if you have both Swain and Morgana locked in, the other team still doesn't exactly know who's going where.
Liking these slightly different picks that we have so far today. Both, assuming these are both ADC picks, Twitch and Ezreal, so no Caitlyn, no Ashe, compared to what we have seen the last 2 weeks, and LeBlanc mid.
Yeah, I know LeBlanc is a champion that Greatbeard of Odin is comfortable on. That was one of the first ones that he started to pick up when he had decided he was going to try to role swap down to the mid lane. And you mentioned the Twitch. Twitch got some buffs a couple weeks ago. He's really exploded onto the scene at the pro level, and I think he's also seen a lot more success at the amateur level since then. Really exciting champion, in my opinion, with his ability to be sort of an AD carry assassin, but also a hyper carry if it just comes down to late game team fights.
So this Vayne ban, was that going to be like a Vayne top then, or are they expecting Ezreal?
Yeah, I suppose it might have been aimed at Stelio Kantos. I have to admit, given that he's a substitute, I haven't scouted him too much at an individual level. Just thinking about his past, he has played in the LCUS in the past, and I don't remember him playing Vayne top, but I would certainly trust Northern Storm to have done their homework.
Yeah, I'll be very interested to see. We should take a note here. They have 3 bans targeted towards Stelio Kantos. So in game 2, to see if they do go that same route, or if they feel a little more confident about Gotta Get Lucky's ability to face off against him. But we'll see what happens.
It looks like we will have a Maokai up in the top lane, although I believe Yuge has played that support this split already even. So that's another little flex pick where it doesn't really strike me as a Stelio Kantos type champion just based on what I know about him as a player. But, I mean, I guess Maokai isn't that dissimilar to Nasus in the sense that you just want to absorb lane pressure early, get big, get scary, get unkillable. And the Cassidy coming for Chaosix, which should be exciting to watch.
Interesting pair up against the LeBlanc, so I'll be very excited to see that. Looks like it's going to be a Shen jungle with the Ornn pick.
River Shen, yeah, absolutely.
And if Yuge locks in this Renekton, it'll probably be a support Maokai.
Yeah, they hovered the Lucian there before the Maokai pick. So I'm not surprised to see that come through now. Probably going to be, yeah, it's going to be a Lucian top. So obviously Stelio Cantos, he does want to play some sort of marksman up there. I assume that's why they banned the Vayne. They've seen a trend there, but he gets the other one. Lucian top got some nerfs, but still very, very difficult to deal with.
So yeah, I and lots of people in the chat, or a few people in the chat at least, are really liking this Northern Storm team. Um, Beyond just my love of durability. I think the Cassidon is a nice pick into the LeBlanc. I think Twitch has a lot of opportunities to go off here. Morgana, of course, very powerful as well.
Yeah, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, and then on Phoenix's side, depending on how well, I mean, we've seen Alon Z on Warwick, so he can do that very well. But depending how fed the Maokai get, there isn't really a lot of durability to survive Twitch or Cassidon.
Yeah, there's not a lot of durability on the side of Phoenix. I almost said Blitzkrieg because Stelio Cantos has a Blitzkrieg flare on the side of Phoenix. But there also isn't very much crowd control either. You've got the Warwick ult,
Yeah.
the Warwick Fear, which is sort of situational. Maokai obviously is a CC machine, but support Maokai, it's tougher to really just dive in and be durable and still be able to survive. It's kind of a one-way trip when you're playing support Maokai. Meanwhile, on the side of Northern Storm, I mean, Orange, Shen, Morgana, like tons of CC going on over there. When it comes to the team comp itself, I feel like Phoenix, they have to win early and snowball because between Cassidon, Ornn, and Twitch, Northern Storm is just going to scale at a mind-boggling level if this game gets to 30, 35 minutes.
Yeah, it's going to be especially difficult for Phoenix if Northern Storm gets ahead early because they have met almost their entire team as characters who don't do a lot of damage if they don't have kills.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, what is LeBlanc, Ezreal, or Lucian going to do against Shen or Ornn if neither of them can get kills in the first 10 minutes?
Yeah, and then you have, the Cassidon, who I assume Chaotix will go Ultimate Hunter on his Masteries, which means that Rift Walk will get down to about a 1.2 second cooldown eventually, just, Rift Walking all over the place. And Twitch, already an incredible hyper carry, but when we have a Black Shield on top of that, in addition to potentially Stand United from Shen, it's just going to be impossible to kill him.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
that's the other thing to think about. You got Black Shield into a team with almost no CC to begin with 2 hyper carries. It's
yeah,
not.
And the other interesting or fun little thing you can do with Twitch Shen is you can have the Shen ult in onto an invisible Twitch, and all of a sudden there's 2 people there even who just showed up out of nowhere. So yeah, I really like this draft from Northern Storm. It's just going to be up to Phoenix to find a way to get ahead early because I think that's really their only win condition.
Yeah, getting ahead early for sure, or at the very least, finding a way to make sure that if nothing else, at least one of the hyper carries does not come online. Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing is eventually these hyper carries will come online.
Right.
It doesn't matter if you hold them down. If the game goes long enough, Twitch, once he gets 3 items, he might as well have 6 items with the buffs to his ultimate. He just rips through a team, especially a team as squishy as Phoenix has. And Cassidon, it's really just about levels. It's not even so much about items. Once he gets level 16, it's just a terror to deal with.
All right, so Phoenix has a hill to climb. We'll see if they can accomplish it. Heading into the skin analysis, the most important part of the day.
If I'm not mistaken, the skin showdown last week was almost undefeated for whoever won the skin showdown.
Phoenix was the one who broke that streak with their.
Well, let's see.
I
no skin on the Cassidon, which is disappointing.
Ah man, I can't really decide. Arcade Ezreal and Maokai kind of ruin Phoenix for me.
Oh yeah, I know you hate joke skins. Yeah, I'm not a fan of any of the skins on Northern Storm either, though. I mean, Cassidon has no skin, obviously.
Oh, come on. Thunderlord Ornn and Warlord Shen, you don't like those?
Warlord Shen, I mean, his art is cool, but there's nothing interesting about his abilities or anything like that, Like, I like skins where you can actually see something with the skin in all aspects of the game, not just in the art.
So then that would mean Phoenix would win because you've got the project skins that actually show things.
Yeah, I would go with Phoenix here. I can tell you're leaning the other way though.
Well, I don't know. I mean, because I like the thing about me is I'm really into like cyberpunk, cyber ninja kind of stuff.
Mm.
So I'm inclined to ignore the joke skins just because of my love of those sorts of things. So we'll say Phoenix for this one, and maybe it will help them.
Yep, we'll see. As you said, they were the ones who didn't fulfill the prophecy last week, so maybe amends will be made.
But yeah, I mean, my two favorite Shen skins are the Scorpion Shen and the Warlord Shen.
Scorpion. Oh yeah.
Though I haven't seen the new whatever it's called, like Vandal or whatever the new dystopian skins are.
A lot of pings coming out from Team Phoenix right away on the top side, and so it looks like they might look for some sort of invade, which I think is a good idea given that they do need to get ahead early. The problem is they don't really have much in the way of level 1 CC, so it's going to be tough to lock somebody down. Yeah, gotta get lucky spots it out. They should be foiled. Some early vision, which is fine.
Couple of pokes.
I would have liked to have seen somebody from Northern Storm going into the blue quadrant of Phoenix there and getting some vision down. Just knowing that all 5 members are topside, you can walk into their jungle without any risk and get some vision down.
Yeah, Twitch or Shen could have done that pretty easily, but
because you can suspect that Alonzi is going to be starting blue side just because that seems to be what most junglers do in the LCUS, because you get 2 people leashing for you as opposed to 1. But you don't know for sure, and it would be nice to know for sure if this Warwick was starting blue or red.
yeah, it feels like we generally see the different starts in the jungle on the blue side of the teams. They seem to be the ones who may go blue, may go red, or the red team is almost always going blue.
Yeah, I'm not sure why that would be.
Or maybe it's just all in my mind. See, just make sure.
Everybody, just pretty standard start here though. Phoenix has the early push in this bot lane, so they should get the level 2 first. It'll be interesting to me to see if Huge tries to posture forward right as they're about to get with this level 2, and level 2 Maokai is a CC machine already, but no, they're not gonna go for any aggression.
Yeah, getting some early work with that CC is probably the best thing they could think to do, because I'm gonna be very surprised if Wishbone doesn't take Black Shield at 2.
Yeah, that's the thing, is they could have gotten some Maokai, CC onto somebody right away before that Black Shield was available. Wishbone still not level 2. Oh, no, now she just picks it up.
She actually takes the Tormented Shadow. Very interesting choice. Oh.
Dark Binding does land.
So they're the ones going in for the aggression here, but they do get some big damage off on
Yeah,
Fawn.
WD fan and a lot of... He's gone. Wow. Just way too much aggression from that Twitch there.
Had a little bit of a lag spike there. Oop. Almost.
Maybe that's what WD fan is saying too. Walked forward, just tried to get down a couple of stacks for that expunge, which also got a little bit of a buff, or excuse me, contaminate. It used to be called expunged. Telio Kantos just showed up and killed Token in the jungle though, up on the top side.
I'm watching poor Wishbone here. Does get a good prison on Huge, but Huge wisely does not attack her at all and is able to get away.
Telio Kantos with a red buff now up on the top side. This lane was already kind of rough for Gotta Get Lucky. I mean, it's melee into range, so it'll always be rough, but it's also, I mean, Lucian is even tougher than your average range character to lane against.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so Telio Kantos was able to just walk down into the jungle, kill Token, and now has his red buff, which just makes the lane matchup even more oppressive.
Yeah, it's especially rough when you don't have anything that can really punish the Lucian, because I mean, he does have a little bit of maneuverability with his dash, but that's generally something you want to be using a little more offensively. So if you, if you had a character who could, like someone like Jace would be doing probably much better up here.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's so tough for Gotta Get Lucky because...
Here comes Token.
Oh, actually a gank in the bot lane. Token lands the taunt just onto Huge, which is probably not the one they wanted. Huge does have Splash. He's saving it for a long time and goes down because of it. Maybe he would have gone down anyways. They are able to trade 1 kill back, but now Mudrich in a lot of trouble. Fan stepping forward. Maybe he goes too far. Cleanse comes out. And Modric should survive. The poison will not tick away. And Tardis actually shows up. Wow, everybody invited to the party in the bot lane. Yeah, a lot of action early in this game, which is what Team Phoenix would have wanted. So props to them for having a game plan here. Or maybe just adjusting on the fly better.
Apologies for missing kills early on here, guys, but when 4 people die at once, it's hard to keep track.
It's a 2.6k gold lead already at 5 minutes, which is an insane number. I always like to think of gold leads in terms of percentages, and right now you've got Phoenix with 33% more gold than Northern Storm.
Prowler, I'm not doing directed camera, it's manual. I specifically do it manual so that we're talking about what we're seeing.
Yeah, directed camera kind of sucks.
In fact, I would actually imagine that we would have seen more if the directed camera was on.
Lonzy Tardis picks up the first dragon for Phoenix. So far, everything is going well for Phoenix. They've got these early kills. They're on to the characters they want them to be on. I mean, I guess if you could have some kill participation for LeBlanc, it would be nice, but beggars can't be choosers. 2 onto the Lucian, 2 onto the Ezreal, and an early Drake. So they do have that early game power that we thought they needed.
Yeah, I mean, they should be very happy about what's going on right now. And the question is if they can just sustain it.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, we see a lot of teams who do just fine in the early game, and then around 15-20 minutes, they just fall apart.
It's worth noting that Kassadin is 6 and does have teleport, so we might see some more plays coming out of him to help his team get back into this.
Greatbeard of Odin not running the teleport, so he wouldn't be able to match. LeBlanc, a pretty mobile champion, so could potentially follow, but by then it might be too late.
If this bot lane can get pushed up by Northern Storm at all, and they can get a ward in one of the back brushes, Kassadin could really punish Ezreal for pushing forward. But
yeah, Gotta Get Lucky also has his teleport available, so could even bring 4 down there if you needed to.
We do have Alonzi lurking in the brush. He is 6, 2 levels up on this Shen. Ooh, nice little attempt to grab Huge there, doesn't work.
Yeah, you can't say enough about how important the kill on the Shen early in the jungle was. We've seen Token be so powerful, so dynamic so far in this split, but he's generally been nowhere to be seen so far in this game.
And Lucky still pushed back, only down 18 CS though. Check out some gold differentials here. 1,000 gold difference up in that top lane. Might have a gank coming here from Alonzi. Let's see if he can get him. But no.
So tough to gank a Kassadin.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, you gotta have a Kassadin's keyboard be broken in order to catch up with him by that point. Gotta get Lucky very low though. I don't know if they want to risk a dive, but Alonzi could try it.
I think they are trying to set it up because Steelkantos just used the culling to get that wave of the turret, but meanwhile Alonzi is going to the enemy blue buff, so they're probably just waiting for the next wave because now you see Greatbeard of Odin walking over, although he might just be taking the blue.
We do have Shen at 5, so he is halfway now to 6, so that's when we can start seeing a little more play there. Check the gold differential in the jungle. Despite the level variance, there's only a 300 gold difference. So that's not that big of a deal yet. Mid lane surprisingly.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say mid lane surprisingly equal. Fawn going invisible. Will he get taken down? Ooh, good little change in maneuver there so he doesn't get hit by the ult.
True shot barrage just goes wide. Might have been enough to kill him. It would have been close. But you see, good job by Huge just jumping in right there, realizing Morgana wasn't there. This is a level 5 Twitch. Definitely not that potent yet. Rift Herald taken by Alonzi Tardis up on the top side.
Pointy Ball in chat pointing out gold lead has stayed about the same this whole time.
Yeah, still 2.6. So percentage-wise, it's gotten better for Northern Storm.
Yeah, they haven't been able to, Phoenix has not been able to take advantage of the lead they have. Though we do have Ezreal picking up the Mana Moon.
Yeah, I think they need to, well, maybe not need to, things are going all right for them, but they should try to exacerbate this top lane advantage that Stego Kantos has accrued. Because Ornn, I mean, he obviously has so much scaling with the ornaments, the items he's able to upgrade, but he's been under tower so much, I do think you could look to dive there. And just as I say that, there's 3 members walking over here, but there's also 3 from Northern Storm ready to answer.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Chaos could flip into this, but I think he wants to save that.
Oh, Alonzi Tardis, he's recalling right in the middle of enemy territory. He could be in a lot of trouble. Chaos jumps over, but doesn't quite have the damage to really threaten him yet, and Alonzi had enough reinforcements nearby to just walk away.
What an intense moment that leads to ultimately nothing. Also, I just got the ornaments joke. It's good.
This mid lane, I don't know, pretty even in CS. Greatbeard of Odin should accrue a little bit of an advantage here based on the wave being right at his tower. Although he misses that one just as I say that. It's kind of what you expect with LeBlanc versus Kassadin. Kassadin has that natural magic shield that comes up anytime he throws up his Q, which makes it tough to advantageously trade against him. Beard of Odin will land a chain, but yeah, you see that magic shield just absorbing some of the damage. It ends up being even.
And LeBlanc really doesn't have that much damage yet right now. All Greatbeard of Odin has gotten is Lost Chapter. So
yeah, you have to land a full combo for it to really be a threat at this point, or onto somebody a little squishier than a Kassadin without that magic shield. Like if Greatbeard of Odin were to jump on to WD Fan and get a full combo, it would be a lot of damage, but
it's nice to see that Phoenix is also having this early objective control as well.
Oh boy, Modric could be in trouble. He has the cleanse, and he used, oh my goodness! He waited out the entire duration of the Dark Binding, and then used his cleanse after it had expired, and just dies.
He might have been trying to wait for something from Twitch, maybe? I don't know. Maybe he doesn't use cleanse often enough and just forgot about it.
Yeah, that is something that, as somebody who plays the game occasionally as well, that is something that happens when you're used to running heal. You sometimes forget that you have the ability to use the cleanse.
Alright, so reasonable turret damage up top. Not enough to take it out, of course. A lot of plates being taken, well, a plate being taken in the bot lane as well. Turret plating falling in 90 seconds, so not much opportunity left to get those gold advantages. Gold advantage has actually been reduced slightly down to 2k.
Yep, shrunk a little bit. Phoenix did get that second Drake as well, though, so that puts Northern Storm on a little bit of a timer. They will probably be compelled to contest this next one. And here comes Alonzi Tardis looking for the ult. He's got the suppression down, but here comes Shen, and it could get turned around. No taunt coming out yet from Token, and there's the true shot barrage coming in from Ezreal. They do get the kill, and it's even onto Modric, who probably really needed that after the earlier slight misplay. Back in the game. And now, Phoenix, they're going to get a lot of these plates. Might even get the whole turret before they expire 14 minutes.
Yeah, Token, in abundance of concern, wastes his flash. He's going to regret doing that later, I'm sure. Ooh, good play here, though.
That's a nice combo, though. Yeah, Alonzi Tardis goes down. Oh, nice ult from Wishbone, but I don't think it's going to be enough. The stopwatch, we saw a great stopwatch play earlier in the split. Wishbone able to get away, and the Dark Binding landed onto the Greatbeard of Odin clone, so not quite perfect, but does survive, and a good job by both her and Token to at least shut down that turret push.
Stopwatch is overpowered, call your congressman.
So as we tick up to 14 minutes, turret plates will expire. Let's see, we've got 3 taken up in the top lane, 3 in the mid lane, looks like 2 in the bot lane. Compared to 2, 0, and 0. So definitely a big advantage accrued by Phoenix in terms of turret plate gold.
Back to around a 2.6 gold lead. Now it's been dropped a little bit here. I'm feeling pretty bad for Token right now. I mean, he's not having a great game. Obviously, you know, you're the tank, so you dying is not the worst thing in the world. But it just feels bad to see the Shen having, you know, getting bullied as hard as he has been so far this game.
Yeah, I mean, it's tricky when a lot of your lanes are getting pushed in, and Alonsi Tardis has been pretty aggressive on the invades. Shen doesn't really have that much available to him to fight back early on. And we saw there, the Stand United came through, saved Chaosix for a little while, but eventually he did fall, so even that ult wasn't really impactful.
Yeah, they were in a pretty bad position there. It was one of those ults that, you know, when you're a Shen, you kind of feel like you have to take, but it's not necessarily one your player is going to survive anyway. Somehow the pink wards aren't denying vision.
Beg your pardon?
Oh, I'm reading comments in chat. They're commenting about about the pink ward in Dragon, I think. Looks like we're getting another Shelly kill up here. I think we'll gotta get lucky contested.
He does walk in, so they know it's happening, but I don't think there's
He
really
almost
any
has
way.
ult.
Way Token tried to dash in, but didn't get it, and he'll probably die for it now. Yep, there's Celiocantos with the culling, and now gotta get lucky. Could be in trouble because there's a red buff on Celiocantos now, which means that he will be slowed. Chaosix coming around the side, but he still just doesn't really have the damage. Good chain from Great Beard of Odin. Celiocantos on a rampage, 4-0 now. The substitute coming up big in game 1.
I almost think that shockwave didn't even hit. I didn't notice any slow effects or damage land.
Do you mean the Kassadin?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Force Pulse, yeah.
Yeah, it looked like it missed entirely. Good prison there, but we've got, how hard? Oh, they're just gonna go straight to Dragon. Not a bad call.
They're using this Rift Herald to just sort of force people from Northern Storm to stay in the mid lane a little bit longer, which allows Phoenix to get first rotation to this Dragon, get priority on it. Token is nearby, and I do think that this would be one that you'd be willing to suicide in to try to steal, but they don't have vision. He needs to go now. Wishbone, nice attempt with the Dark Binding, but doesn't land. Good smite from Alonsi Tardis. W Fan goes in for Modric. That's the little sneaky Shen ult that we were talking about earlier, but just not enough damage. Too far behind to really capitalize on it. This gold lead exploding up to 4,500 all of a sudden.
Also, just barely missed the taunt on Warwick. I think they would have gotten that kill, but...
Yeah, if he had, I think that would have been a dead big bad wolf.
Alright, so first turret for Northern Storm. Gold lead is 3k now, like you said, so a little bit bigger. We're seeing a little bit more of that Phoenix momentum. And nothing that exciting out of Chaosix or Fan yet. But
yeah,
like you
WD
said,
Fan has managed to get 2 kills though.
Right.
So
and like you're saying, with Chaos, level 16 is what we're waiting for. So we'll see if how much more of a lead Phoenix will get if they get one. And how that impacts the game going forward. I do think that the lack of CC is going to start severely hurting Phoenix. But we need to get to a point where Northern Storm's in a good enough position where that lack of CC will be a factor.
Yeah, CC doesn't really make a difference if you're so far behind that they're just blowing you up anyways. Obviously, it helps to turn things around, but, a pick here, a pick there, if you give up what will be a Mountain Soul at 22 minutes, still probably not going to be enough to bring you back. Then again, and I don't mean to throw shade, this is just a fact, we saw Phoenix throw a really, really big lead last week.
Well, this could be an opportunity for it, but there doesn't seem to be any communication from Northern Storm there. There was a possibility. Ooh, nice little hit there on Fawn. Good snag on the Maokai as well. They could have gotten something done there, but I think they realized they didn't have, like, Ornn nearby. Ornn seems to be a little bit more of a stable presence on this team. He's only 0-2. I think he's more durable than Shen right now. 21 versus 17. Oh, yeah, he's much more durable than Shen is right now. Shen
Yeah,
doesn't really
he
have
will
any items at
become...
all.
he will become even more so soon because Ornn gets to upgrade his own items before anybody else's. So, meanwhile, Chaosic's getting caught up. He's suppressed, and even for someone as mobile as a Kassadin, that could be trouble. But WD Fan turns it back around. Gotta get lucky with a nice snipe with the Ornn ultimate, and now Stelio Cantos could be in trouble. Culling backward, Token has to dash away, and the heal also used from WD Fan. But that's a good pick by Northern Storm, getting some gold into their carries' pockets, stemming the momentum.
Yeah, good use of that ult by Stelio Cantos as well, just to make them back off. Because they could have gone more if they kept chasing, if not for that ultimate. But yeah, so that gives Northern Storm a little bit more wind in their sails. 2 for nothing. You always like to see that.
Yeah, and importantly, 1 kill went onto the Twitch. The Kassadin was involved in both, so at least got some assist gold there. Chaos has the Rod of Ages completed, and now he's trying to stack up that tier. That's another reason that Kassadin scales more so with levels, is because he naturally builds those 2 stackable scaling items. So generally, he's just not going to be able to finish all of that progress until he's around level 16.
I also think Wishbone just picked up the Hourglass, within the last minute at least, so that's going to be a big power swing as well.
Yeah, a really important item for Morgana to have, to be able to utilize that ultimate to its full potential.
And also less overpowered than Stopwatch. But we got a lot of split pushing going on right now. Kantos up in that top lane, Odin in the bot lane. Looks like they're setting up for Dragon here already, throwing wards down everywhere. So that's going to be one of the big centerpieces of the next few moments.
Yep. Yeah, that Drake, Northern Storm is going to have to fight for it. You cannot give up a soul at 22 minutes when you're already behind. It's interesting to me that Alonzi Tardis just took that blue buff. Greatbeard of Odin was nearby, and you would think that both the LeBlanc and even the Ezreal would be able to utilize that to higher potential than Warwick, but Alonzi Tardis takes it anyway. He does have, actually, Token is caught up in levels right now. I do think Alonzi Tardis is probably closer to 12 than Token is, but that means that the smite will be even.
Yeah, they're only about a quarter of a level apart. A little bit
Drake coming up very soon. Stelio Cantos shoving this top wave, and he does have teleport available, whereas Gotta Get Lucky does not, so he is down here already.
Yeah, that turret's already down, so he could start moving right now unless he wants to keep pushing. We also have the Kassadin with his teleport sitting in the mid lane, so we could have multiple teleports coming in.
Yeah, you have Kassadin answering Stelio Cantos because he has that teleport. Dark Binding misses from Wishbone, and it's going to be Northern Storm starting it up. They are just going to go for this. Willing to risk the 50-50, it looks like, as Alonzi Tardis is behind the pit. He jumps in, and he stole it! He got it in midair with the smite, and now the fight explodes. WD Fan in the back, just not quite strong enough. He got a lot of shots out, but didn't find enough kills. Down goes Gotta Get Lucky. Chaos is the only one still on the map, and that's because he wasn't even there. Everything goes the way of Team Phoenix there.
Yeah, that Ornn ultimate did not land the way Gotta Get Lucky would have wanted it to. But even by the time it arrived, that's one of the problems with Ornn's ult. It just takes a little too long to get to you sometimes. And
yeah, you have to preempt it in a lot of situations. You can't reactively use it because by the time you have the chance to hit the ram back where you want to go, your guys might be dead.
So we've got the Mountain Dragon Soul, which is going to add to the durability that this team didn't have, which is even more terrifying.
Yeah, we were talking about how they lack durability, but also, for now, they've been able to keep Northern Storm in check to the point that they don't really have to worry about lacking durability because Northern Storm doesn't have to damage to blow them up the way they would like.
Yeah, I mean, at this point...
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, at this point, you basically have to assume that LNC is going to jump that wall. He is a second hand for him now, at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. No, he timed it perfectly. I thought he was a second too late, but he got the smite off in midair. Just a beautiful steal and extremely clutch as well. I still think Phoenix would have won that fight afterward anyway, but having the soul now...
Oh. Okay, so
For
flash
Northern
away.
Storm, it was critical to deny that soul because that buys you another 6 minutes for your Twitch and Kassadin to scale. Now it's a really, really difficult game to imagine coming back in.
Yeah, absolutely. Another turret taken down by Kantos. It feels like he's just everywhere this game. Isn't really involved in that many fights. I mean, obviously he's got 4 kills, but I mean, like, in many of the pivotal situations, he's been elsewhere, split pushing, being a pain, being a threat that they have to deal with. And with only really Chaosix to answer, that means that Kassadin isn't involved in the fight.
Yeah, it has been a superstar substitute performance coming in from Stelio Kantos here. And gotta get lucky. You see him itemizing so heavily into the armor. He has the Sunfire Cloak completed, Bramble Vest, Ninja Tabby. So he wants to get to that point where Stelio Kantos can't really threaten him. He will probably never threaten Stelio Kantos himself, but maybe he can at least hold on. But here we have Phoenix going for the Drake, or excuse me, the Baron.
This will probably decide the game here.
Ultimate across 2 by Modric. That's a ton of damage. Wishbone in so much trouble. There's the Hourglass, but it's not going to save you for long. Modric picks up another kill, his 7th of the game. Great Beard of Odin is chasing on a Gotta Get Lucky. Got the first chain down. And now there's so little magic resist on this Ornn. He should be able to walk away just because he has enough hit points, but Phoenix, they go right back to the Baron, and I don't think Northern Storm can approach him this time.
I would have liked to see Chaos get involved there in some way. I don't know where his teleport was. Maybe he figured that his team was just going to be doing retreating action, so he didn't need to be there.
The problem is that he still doesn't even have his Archangel staff completed. He's still sitting on Tear of the Goddess and the Fiendish Coda, or excuse me, the Lost Chapter, so he's still a long way from getting to that scary Kassadin point that we had talked about, and he might not even get there until the Nexus is falling.
Yeah, speaking of scary, we're at a 9k gold lead. That's definitely the point of no return in most LCUS games. So
Yeah, absolutely.
We will see if Phoenix has managed to pick up the pieces from last week, hold on to a lead. And I mean, they've done a great job today. I don't know, I mean, obviously, interesting to see what Token's going to do in Game 2. Maybe something more like Sejuani or someone else who's still got that durable presence but can be a little more proactive at slightly longer ranges.
Yeah, I do think that that's something that Northern Storm should consider moving forward, assuming that they don't pull off a comeback. But even if they do, obviously this won't end up being a game that they're too happy about, even if they were to come back. Mm-hmm. But I do think Token being, you know, a very, very strong player, at least from what we've seen so far this split, you want to put him on something with a little more agency than River Shen.
We have Sig pointing out the game isn't over because Cass isn't 16 yet. Well, Cass has got 1.7 levels, and I don't know if this game is going to last 1.7 levels. And even if it does, there's a 7-1 Ezreal.
Yeah, it's going to be so difficult because even when he gets to that, you know, Kassadin PowerPoint that everyone's so familiar with, when you suddenly just start blowing people up, coming over walls that they'd never expect you to come from, with this Mountain Soul, it just delays Kassadin getting to that point even more.
And we have Great Beard of Odin split pushing right now. We're going to try to keep an eye on both sets of action at once. Got to get lucky. Finally got to get lucky's durability. Seems to have reached the breaking point here. Not able to stand up to that Great Beard of Odin, but good.
There goes Chaos. Oh, there he goes. He should get the kill here. Yes, Alonzi Tardis didn't quite get there on time. Still has the ultimate available. It actually uses it to jump away. Meanwhile, Modric and Stelio Kantos, the double ADs, will wreck this tower pretty quick.
And here comes the Ornn ult. Does manage to hit Stelio Kantos here.
Oh my gosh. WD fan just got annihilated. Stelio Kantos, though, a little too aggressive there. Gives up a big shutdown. That goes over to Chaos. And all of a sudden, this Kassadin getting some gold.
Yeah, I mean, suddenly this no-kill Kassadin's got 2 kills, and that alone is terrifying.
They were big kills, too, because they were shutdowns, I believe, both of them. And now, Northern Storm, they get this Elder Drake, probably. Alonzi Tardis is nearby, so he could obviously go for the steal again. Doesn't have the ultimate available, though, so he will have to use his flash to get over the wall this time, but Northern Storm, they don't even know where he is, so they're not sure when he will be coming in. Huge is in the pit, so they do have vision. There goes Alonzi Tardis. He gets it again! The Prince of Thieves strikes one more time. And WD Fan, he will get a couple of kills. But if you... Yeah, there's the Elder buff right now. So much damage. Got to get lucky. Should drop from that chain. Yep. Great Beard of Odin gets 2. Wishbone just running away. Zony's Hourglass is available, but I don't think it'll even help. And Chaos, the only one left alive. Great Beard of Odin, I don't think he can end by himself, but... Man, taking that Elder Drake was huge because that would have stalled out the game again, which is something that Northern Storm desperately would have wanted.
Yeah, a lot of great plays in those last few moments on both sides. But obviously they probably would have preferred Fawn staying alive. Did manage to not even really affect the gold lead. The gold lead is even higher than it was the last time we mentioned it. Just so much objective control. I don't think that Northern Storm took a single objective this game.
Man, I think you're right. Yeah, even both of the Rift Heralds went over to Team Phoenix. Man, that's a heartbreaker if you're Northern Storm because you got those 2 picks. You were feeling good, like you had a chance, you had an opening to get back into this game. You get that Elder buff, and even though you're so far behind, Phoenix can't fight you for the duration of that buff. It is impossible, or not impossible, but very, very tough to fight a team with that Elder Dragon buff. But, man, Alonzi Tardis comes up with his second huge steal of the game, and then even though the fight looked kind of good for Northern Storm afterward, once Great Beard of Odin showed up with that Elder buff, just the kills were stacking up so quick.
Well, only Great Beard of Odin has the Elder Dragon buff now, so at least they have that going for them. Gotta Get Lucky is now at 3,500 hit points. Shen is almost at 3,000, so he's managed to catch up a little bit. Has managed to complete at least one item.
Ooh. Also, this is kind of sad. I would imagine it wasn't intentional, but you see the Blade of the Ruin King was upgraded onto Twitch instead of the Infinity Edge. And I think that ideally you would have wanted the Infinity Edge upgraded.
Alright, so it's a 3-on... It was a 3-on-4 in the mid lane. But now it's 3-on-3. I don't know if I agree with Great Beard of Odin being down there, but I mean, if that's the way they want to do it. Token does miss the dash. So yeah, this is a lot of breath holding going on here. Someone's gonna blink. Great Beard of Odin has lost the Elder Drake buff, so that's also large.
And Phoenix, there is a Baron available on the map, so I'm surprised that they're not trying to pressure for that, especially given that Celio Cantos does have his teleport available. Alonzi Tardis, very, very durable, got locked up by that Dark Binding, but just fine. In goes Huge, he picks the Morgana of all people, and Wishbone dies without using the Hourglass. Great Beard of Odin annihilates Chaos, and you have to think this will be game. Token just trying to protect WD Fan, the last bastion of hope is this Twitch. He gets some decent damage down onto Modric, but I think once this next wave arrives, Phoenix will look to close.
Yeah, 5-on-2. No one even died in that rather excellent collapse that Phoenix did there. And it looks like we might end with Kassadin not even hitting 16. I think he's still 15.
Did complete the Seraph's Embrace at least. Token goes in, but just gets exploded right away. Turret's on Alonzi Tardis, but he barely even cares. That next turret taking a long time to drop because they don't have any minions, but it will eventually fall. In goes Wishbone. The ultimate just not going to be impactful enough. WD Fan does pick up one Will Constellation kill at the end, but overall, Phoenix blows things out. A very impressive showing. He got there.
He did get there, but a 13k gold lead is a little hard to overcome.
Got there just in time to see the Nexus fall. We thought that might happen.
Alright, so Phoenix did everything that we said they would, especially because they won the skins. We'll check out some graphs really quick here. Damage dealt, Fawn doing very well. Not as well as the damage dealers. Well, you know, third place in damage, it's not bad. But everyone else, like when you can just see this showing Cassidy doing almost nothing.
That's a tough game for Chaosix there. Just never quite got online. Got close after those couple shutdowns, but then that Elder Dragon fight going the other way just completely staunched the bleeding for Team Phoenix, and from there it just seemed like it was a foregone conclusion.
Nice vision score coming out of Ezreal. Modric doing a
Always
good job
nice.
there.
It's always nice to see an 80 carry caring about vision.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so that was game one. Phoenix getting a little bit of redemption, taking out the King for game one. Can they do it twice in a row? We will be right back to find out the answer. Don't go anywhere.